What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors and entrepreneurs and the cryptocurrency world, where we feel like crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years. We'll be able to use it to generate wealth and use real estate to be able to preserve wealth. So, welcome along on the journey. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here, and just having this amazing time with all you guys where we're going to create just massive amount of abundance through cryptocurrency. And like Dane said, create that wealth and preserve the wealth, preserve that abundance that we're going to create for ourselves, our families, our friends, through real estate. It's going to be a lot of fun to kind of show you guys how we'll do that as we're moving through the bull market. And it seems like the bull market's, right on cue. I mean, everything we're seeing right now with the Bitcoin and the market sentiment is kind of just falling right into place to what we anticipate being in the normal market cycle. Now, whether that continues out in 2024 has remained to be unseen. We love to always keep you guys' minds open about the left translated cycle. You've heard us talk about that a few times on here. That's always probable of playing out. Or if we get a full market cycle all the way to 2025, I'm all for that too. Bring that on. I would love to see Bitcoin go to a freaking $150,000 and above. I know there's some crazy astronomical predictions right now. I think Michael Saylor thinks he said Bitcoin could go to $5 million.
Oh, geez. Can you imagine this guy?
What? That is wild. But even Arthur Hayes is a pretty well known billionaire in the Bitcoin community. And he's a smart dude. He's a really smart dude. I love hearing him talk sometimes, but man, even he's got some wild predictions on Bitcoin. And he thinks since the economy will get shaken up and we might see a recession, he thinks the inverse will happen, where people are thinking, we could have a left translated cycle of that and Bitcoin could roll over along with the other markets. He thinks that people are going to run into Bitcoin as a safe haven. He thinks crypto will be the catalyst.
What's the likelihood of that? We've heard that for years about this decoupling where crypto would be different than everything else. I just don't see how that.
We've never seen a situation where we had a recession in the economy, and in the economy,
the dollars getting destroyed. Yeah,
around. We've never seen it. In fact, that's why, if you go back to read the white paper of Satoshi Nakamoto and some of the ethos behind the original plan of Bitcoin, that's why he created it. Initially, was one of the reasons why he created it, kind of have that safe haven from the dollar and everything crashing, and that was kind of the ethos. And of course, it didn't really play out like that. We just created a Ponzi casino all through a printing a state of printing. But yeah, Arthur Hayes says that Bitcoin's going to go to $750,000. I was like, oh my god, broski! We got to bring it down at least one level. At least one level, please. It's just a lot of unrealistic expectations, in my opinion, and even from these smart guys. And these guys got billions of dollars, and they're still shilling their bags, trying to get as much people to buy in as much as they can. Because Arthur Hayes, he built his wealth through Bitcoin,
right?
You have some billionaires out there, Arthur Hayes, Michael Saylor, and they got the most unrealistic expectations. But it's fun to hear, and you got to have these people who are basically shilling their bags to get people to come in and buy their bags at the top. Because who's going to come in and buy the $80,000 Bitcoin if it's not someone who believes it's going to $750,000?
Right, exactly. I'm going to go ahead and post the link if you guys want to come in and join. We got some of our good friends here. Norbert's here. What's up, Norbert? Ted, Mike, Axis is here. Yeah. Feel free to come in and jump on. This one's going to be a short one, probably 25 minutes. Corey and I
are slammed.
An insane day. We've been onboarding like crazy.
We have been onboarding the real estate community like madmen. We spoke at 2 events, real estate events, and you want to talk about millions of dollars that we're onboarding. These guys got money. And so we're on a mission. We're obviously bringing them into our group, and then we're onboarding them into the Pulse Chain community. And so, like, we are booked with calls for the next couple of weeks, like back to back. And that's why we were late today. We were 30 minutes late for the show, so sorry about that. But like, we were on a call that was just too juicy to give up. And then we were talking about a lot of money some of these guys got, and then like it kept going.
Literally, Corey and I had 4 calls this morning already before the show. We've got another 7 more calls for onboarding after lunch today, because people like to hear what we have to talk about with cryptocurrency when it comes to real estate and how you can add that to what you're doing. So it's pretty wild. We'll bring Norbert on. Oh, there he is. What's up, Norbert?
Norbert!
Hello, guys. Hey. Quick
Norbert,
20 minutes, yeah?
Did you pick up any of the 9mm NFTs?
No, I was about to hit the button, but then I'm like, oh, do I really want to spend that 1 million? It's just, I'd rather put it into anything else, like
sure,
something else. The thing is, like last cycle, I was trying to chase so many shiny things and stuff like that, and it didn't work out well. And now I'm more like, what my life is became a more gradual building. Let's do another 50 push-ups. Let's go out and do something else.
Yes.
And then just building day by day, rather than this one. No. This one. No, I don't want to do like that. But if it's gonna work out well, then why not? Happy days. It's just it's against what I'm trying to stand for. They are so cute. Having thing in their mouth and different haircuts and whatnot. At least they have some hair, not like me.
NFTs, Norbert. Come on, man.
No. Like I said last time, if you do 100x, man, that's $4,500 for a JPEG like this. Is just no, I can't follow that.
Sure, that's fair. These guys minted out. In fact, Randy Hilarski took us to the finish line.
Yeah, he did.
Just a few days ago, where there wasn't a ton left, and on his stream, he went ahead and sold them out. I think this team's interesting. They come out and they set out on a mission to be able to build stuff, and they're actually doing it. There's not a lot of teams that come out and say they'll build stuff and actually execute on it. These guys have built arguably with the best block explorer for Pulse Chain already. They're coming out with V3 fork of Uniswap, so there will be some additional opportunities for liquidity providing and market making and things of that nature, and an NFT platform as well, where if you got these 9mm NFTs, essentially what's going to happen is over a 20-month time frame, you're going to get airdropped at some point each month tokens for their decks. And so it's cool. It wasn't real expensive to grab.
Is all of being minted?
All of them.
Do I see it wrong? All of them minted, yeah.
Yeah, they've all sold out. So
this is the only thing, because Randy was talking about it. That's what made me think, like, if he talks about it, I should get involved. Like he knows what he's doing.
Right. Paul says, "Stop it, Norbert. I got 5 of these damn JPEG printers."
That's what they are. They're JPEG money printers. That's
yeah, it might work out well. You never know. It's just no. I don't want to talk anyone out of it or make them feel bad. Like.
Sure.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the strategy you got in hand, man. Sticking to your plan. You put a plan in place. I mean, you're focusing a lot on the blue chip assets. There is nothing wrong with what you're doing, and everyone's risk tolerance is a little bit different. Everyone's financial capabilities are different. If you got billions and billions of pulse, that person can go and degen a lot more than somebody who might only have 100 million pulse, right? And so everyone's bags are different. You definitely want to have the blue chip foundation in the ecosystem, in my opinion, before you start going off and start doing all this crazy stuff, especially if you're going to be getting the meme coins and whatever else. But like, you need to really have a nice foundation built out first, then go and speculate. Like, do you have your Hex, portfolio built out? Do you have your Pulse portfolio built out? And, you can argue about Pulse X, that's here or there, but still, Hex and Pulse is definitely my blue chips in my portfolio. So something to be talked about building that foundation. And then going out.
I can't believe it. I wanted to text Axis to come on show, and then there he is. I love it.
You're on stream with the man, Norbert.
What up, guys?
What's up,
What's
Axis?
up, man?
Dude,
Balling, man.
the Axis token
Hi,
is flying.
Oh, dude, just imagine how I feel right now. I'm
Just
in my own bull market.
seriously.
It's like crazy.
Do you have the Axis chart pulled up?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm sure he does.
Dude, because I got excited when I heard that you guys were talking to multi-million-dollar real estate guys. So I was like,
Yep.
maybe I should come on and just, speak a little more on my picture, my view on the space, and, maybe just give people some context. I know we had talked in the past here not too long ago about potentially doing a call for your guys' group as well. So I could just kind of show that too, if that's
In
interesting.
fact, we're well, we'll have to talk off stream, but we had the opportunity at one of the events. Dylan, you guys, if you don't know Dylan's not a part of the PH team, but he's helping with put a lot of the PH stuff together. Dylan was out not far from an event we were at yesterday, and Dylan came out and I was helping on board, talking to some of the real estate guys, giving perspective. It was awesome. So we'll have to talk to you, Axis. If you're near some of the stuff we're going to, it might be a fun opportunity to be able to collaborate.
Sure. Awesome. Yeah, dude. I just got to. So I went into Frank's group the other day, and Dylan was in there. That was my first time ever getting to, communicate with him on video like that. And
he's a smart dude.
He's a sharp young guy. He's got a lot of experience in the chain analysis department, and he knows a lot about specifically like the Hex and Pulse ecosystems, the Hex contract, and like he knows like user behavior of specific wallets. So like, he was ahead of the curve on all of that. And, so getting to speak with him a little bit the other day was refreshing because, I was getting a chance to learn things that I didn't know as well. So actually, this is just hot off the press. There's a rumor going around that the first Axis pool might be going live here on PHUX in a few minutes. So
let's do it. That's great.
It's going to be called Ascension, and it's going to be Pulse, PDI, and Axis, 33% on each. So we're going to try and send the whole ecosystem.
That's an interesting pool.
Yeah, if everyone wants to fight over, PDI or Pulse or which one, then you got like the DGens versus like the RH Core guys, and I think it's time to merge them together and get us all on the same team. So
I love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that go live here, and maybe in a few minutes, and then I'll put a tweet out. And yeah, I mean, the overall goals here with this particular project is just to create value for my members. It's something that it's just a rewards token. It's pretty simple. There's not any extra utility. A lot of the utility comes from the education that people get from learning about chain analysis, technical analysis, and liquidity providing and liquidity analysis. I think those are like the three core skills that you need to understand. And if you can master, to the best of your ability, those three core skills, you will dominate this cycle in DeFi. And so I think, the alpha is coming from kind of trying to find your own way to apply those talents, right? Because it's something that everybody could do. And my goal is to demystify all this stuff and make it common knowledge. It's going to make the market way more competitive. And I think that's good for more efficient pricing. And how do we do that? Well, one way we can do it is we can launch a coin that we can watch and track from the beginning and know every single thing that ever occurred, from user behaviors and how that painted the chart, like what happened when that trader stepped in and sold a bunch, and what happens when you see a new guy come in and you click on his wallet and you see, oh, that dude's got 1 billion Pulse and he started buying this coin, and he put in 2% of his stack and he pushed the price up 16%. Like, what could that do if he is a holder, and then trying to understand these concepts and really get a feel or a read on the market, right? With something like Hex, it's so old now and it's got so many players, and it's a huge undertaking to go back and try to learn what other people have been tracking already now for coming up to 4 years. Which is why I've teamed up with Crispy Man from Hexfire to do a lot of that work, and for him to synthesize the data, because on my own there was no way I would ever be able to do that. And there's other elements to it as well, like in the Hex contract, being able to estimate forward the future share rate definitely gives you an ability to like be forward thinking about how you want to set up a Hex staking ladder, and trying to combine that analysis with something like market cycle theory to come out on top toward the end of the cycle. So I guess
Love
if
it.
you guys just
And
want
I
to
think
kind
it's
of,
a cool opportunity, you know, like I think it's fun to see people trying different things. I like specifically what I like about what you're doing here is, you know, like once you build something like this, it's your baby. You have the opportunity to be able to influence it, to be able to manage it well. And so far this is one of the best performing price charts on all of Pulse Chain. And it's cool to be able to see the support. It's an opportunity to be able to support people in the community that you believe in, that you like, and whether you do or don't, you know, it's neither here nor there. But it's an opportunity based upon what you believe and what you want to do, and we like what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Thanks. So
You see something really good starting. Oh, sorry.
oh, you're good. Go ahead. I've said enough.
So no. We need to be quiet when we have a brain like you in the room. But what I wanted to say is that it's I can feel that something really, really good started. Like guys like Corey and Dane going out, you know, and approaching fairly wealthy individuals. I also started doing the same thing. Whenever I go out, you know, I meet a businessman, I meet some clients. I tell them, look, if you need anything, take my number. You know, I have some plans. And then, oh, what you doing? You know, I just hint something. You know, I do some finance, I do some crypto. You know, let me know. Oh yeah, really, I do something else. And I said, what do you do? Oh, I've done some stocks. And I said, how is it doing? You know, oh, I put in 30 grand, night worth like 10K. I said, don't worry, mate. My one is the same, you know. So and I'm in crypto, so now everything is at the bottom. But if you want, we can talk sometimes. And I'm really, really hoping that, you know, instead of chasing JPEGs or like uh, Chinese written Chinese written coins, which doesn't have any functionality, but just because someone talks about it with a cool shade on their face, it goes up to the sky, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, let's buy this one. This is the good one. No, it's not shit, man. It's like it's a good looking shit, you know, like it's some spray sprayed over like a perfume, you know. But at the end of the day, it's still shit, you know, like it's
But
gonna taste shit.
Norbert, my JPEG is a money printer.
Yeah, okay. Your one is different, but how I'm gonna sell? How I'm gonna onboard someone with a 1970s JPEG-looking baby with a skinhead colored hair, chewing or sucking something, and say, "Oh, hey, my name is Norbert. I'm 43 years old. I'm into finance in the last 2 years, and let me show
Yeah,
you
you make a
the
good
best
point.
thing
But
ever
don't
since
worry.
sliced bread."
This JPEG
How-
will use some good money.
And they're gonna be like, money printer, mate. Money for what? For your Monopoly game or what? You know, like, get out of here. I don't get out of my face. I don't want to talk to you, man.
Bro, this is
That's
a really
funny.
good topic. So like, you know what I realized by participating in Pulse Chain? I realized that this is a complete change of worldview on what is value and what is real
Yes.
and what is fake.
That's true.
Now, the example that I'll give is Wrap Bitcoin. And you guys might have been watching me on some other streams. I've been pushing this lately, which is basically, you know, Bitcoin is it's sound money, right? It's 21 million fixed supply. It's got the proof of work blockchain backing it.
Yep.
There's billions and billions of dollars traded there, and billions of dollars of mining equipment investment in that blockchain. So that's probably for sure here to stay. Probably going to go to 100 grand plus, maybe $1 million one day. And so you got that, like, I think the world agrees now that that's not funny money anymore. That's real money. And it's probably a function of the fact that it's been socially accepted, and it's got huge deep liquidity now. So those two
Right.
kind of factors combined. And I'm going to hinge on the social acceptance part on my next point. So when you look at something like Pulse Chain, and, well, for lack of a better word, that's a fork of Ethereum. So this is just a copy of Ethereum, right? So you look at Ethereum, and they were able to collateralize Bitcoin by freezing it on the Bitcoin blockchain and then minting an artificial Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain to give Bitcoin more value. Well, what do I mean? Well, wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum is fake Bitcoin. It's not real by
Technically,
the standards of Bitcoin, right? But what it is it's faster, and relatively for a time it was cheaper to transact. Then gas fees went up, got more expensive. But one of the utilities was it was faster and easier to transmit and easier to swap through DeFi. Something that Bitcoin can't do. So what is value there? Value is the ability to transact with less friction. So you took something that was real and then you made a fake one, and it's supposed to be backed by the real thing, but it becomes more valuable on the ETH side because it's got extra utility.
I would argue that too.
Now you take this to the next level and it's like, okay, and then Richard Hart makes a fake wrapped Bitcoin, which is a forked wrapped Bitcoin built on Ethereum that now has been copied onto Pulse Chain, and he makes a farm for it to incentivize value to chase returns. And what I realized when he did that, when he took a copy of a real asset that's not backed by anything, and he gave it a price, he proved that the only thing that matters when it comes to value is that its ability to be traded for something else. So my example is, I'll pull up the wrap Bitcoin chart now. And by the way, this chart looks good to me, guys. Like, you know, we were talking about in the Leads group. Yeah, for those that don't know, Dane and Corey have made an investment in my program, and they're in the Elites group. And I've been posting this chart. And what I'm seeing here is a breakout of a falling wedge and potentially some consolidation here, or a hold of this trend. And this thing's going to come up and test and maybe go toward the highs if there's strength in the Pulse Chain coin price, and there's strength potentially in PDAI, because this is somewhat tied to the PDAI price. So I'm expecting wrap Bitcoin, with its deep liquidity of about $270,000, to give an opportunity here for people to make potential up to 130% returns with a pretty good risk reward. If you were to capture it down here where I think it could have fallen to, it would have been even a better risk reward. But it seems like it's breaking out here, which it makes sense because the price came down to the 50% retracement level, and it's now been bouncing off that for now over a week. So it seems like it's a nice rounded bottom running into the trend line. Support, and then continuous support. Anything of a slip below would be a buy in my mind, because it's probably going to get ejected back up and try to recapture this trend and go higher. Why? Because it's already performed so well from its lows, and because, back to the original point, when Richard created that farm, he took something that had no value and he gave it value, and it's continued to come back and give value back to opportunists who like to trade, or for long-term holders who like to buy bottoms. And that's the point, is this thing started at 0, then it traded at the low around 14, 15 bucks, and now it's up to like $100 almost, $94 as we speak, which is a 588% return. So the fact that the utility came from this fake thing, had a price, and people made money on it, right? And it's on the Pulse Chain where it's cheaper to transact. So there's utility inherent in there and value inherent in there. Now, in addition to that, the other thing that gives this thing value is that this thing can be traded in for real Bitcoin back on the original Bitcoin blockchain. So yeah, even though this isn't backed one-to-one by real Bitcoin, it has inherent value built into Pulse Chain and opportunity, which is value. And you see these price returns and the ability to turn this into more Bitcoin over time makes it real.
It's pretty remarkable. Yeah.
Especially because it's touched 4 times already the trend line. More often it's touching a line and then bouncing back from that line. It more support shows and strength as well.
Right. Well, and sentiment in general is really fascinating. You know, like what can you trade for value? We've all seen the trading card boom where Logan Paul paid $1 million for a Pikachu Pokemon card. You see it in the sneaker game where people, you know, you could trade a pair of Yeezys for thousands of dollars. Like, it's really fascinating. And I feel like more and more, in fact, as we were talking to some of the people at the real estate conference that we were at yesterday, I feel like there's this giant awakening happening, and Axis will talk about this from time to time, but this awakening where people are opening their eyes. They're saying, gosh, we live in a system where the government is corrupt, They're not necessarily here to help us. And we have optionality now instead of needing to, have a revolution and taking up arms and killing people. There's opportunity to have a revolution in other forms, specifically with money here with crypto, which is one of the reasons that we're all here and sharing this message with our guys. It's fascinating that not everyone, but a huge majority of the people we talk to, they're like, we get it. We want to be in. We just don't know how. The barrier of entry is like, okay, how do I participate in this instead of buying Shiba Inu or Dogecoin on Coinbase and hoping that the casino makes it so that I get rich? How do I come in and be a good purveyor and user of the blockchain? It's fun to be able to take those guys and help them in their journey.
Yeah. So, that's, it's a learning curve that everyone has to go through, and you can mitigate the expensive mistakes by getting in with people that know what they're doing. So, this is Corey and Dane's. This is your first cycle, right? First full cycle in crypto. You got in at the top.
This is the first time I'm paying really close attention. I had another
full cycle, right? Like were we involved the whole time?
Yep. And I'm not throwing you under the bus here. I'm trying to prop you guys up and make people understand, like, look, if you're in Corey and Dane's group and you're in real estate and you don't know how to start this stuff out, just understand that it is difficult. It is challenging. It's not something that you're just going to understand immediately, but through the work and effort and putting in the time to like understand this stuff, you're going to be way more ahead of the curve.
Yes.
And it's important to like not give up on that, to just to understand the opportunity in front of you and like at least like put in an honest effort. Because if you don't do that, you're just missing out on some massive opportunities in the space. Like I think the main thing is to demystify this stuff and make it simpler for people. Like if you can just put in the work and grind and figure this stuff out for yourself and understand it in your own way, by just talking to us, like go to the events or like come into the group calls or like schedule a call with me or schedule a call with Corey and Dane. Just do maybe one or two things. You can mitigate a lot of the mistakes that could be made in crypto. Either there's a lot of things that can happen, either price wise or security wise. There's a lot of things that can happen that are negative, but that's not where their focus should be. Your focus should be on starting small and just playing with it and having fun, because that's going to get you interested. When you got a little bit of skin in the game and you start to see the price charts moving, it flips a trigger in your brain where you're like, I want to learn more about this. And then everything's going to get a lot easier from that point.
Agreed. You nailed it. And I think so many people, so many people want to keep things a secret. I don't know how many times you guys have had a conversation with somebody that you might know really well, and they tell you something they've been trying for a significant amount of time that's really blessed their life. I'm like, man, why didn't you tell me earlier? I would have loved to have known to read this book or implement this workout regimen that you've been having good results from, or this diet, or in our case, cryptocurrency. I had one of my buddies tell me about Hex at 40 cents when he bought it a penny. And I'm like, I wish you would have told me, I wish I would have known at a penny when you were going in. Like I would have come and played the game. I had no idea what I was doing at that time, but I would have loved to have known about that.
Let me explain something here that this will make a lot more sense in 4 years for you guys. And this isn't a diss. I'm explaining what this is like. At a penny Hex, we didn't know if it was going to go higher. Like anyone you could look at a penny around big payday and see that move from 0.6 of a cent to a penny and a half, and then back down, and then back up to 2 cents. And you could experience that volatility. And it was honestly blind faith, you guys, that we were all a part of at that time. We didn't know, nobody knew how high it could go. We had this dream of how high it could go. And so if someone would have came to you at a penny and said, hey, you got to get in on this thing, it might not even been that attractive of a thing. Like most of people get in at the top when it's a for sure thing.
Right.
So you guys got in when everyone was learning about it and it was safe. It was a safe investment. The irony is that it was the top, and you gotta be the bag holder that waits the next 4 years, but you're still in the safe thing. But before that, it wasn't safe because it could have went from penny to zero. And that's what my point is. Like, it's all perspective and frame of reference. And trust me, on day one, when I put in my first little $150 into the adoption amplifier, that's all I had at the time to put in. It was a freaking moonshot, dude. Do you think I thought it was going to go to a 10,000x for sure? No, but it was a dream. And Richard was so good at captivating people and getting them involved and wanting to care about this thing and locking up their funds into stakes and stuff. And he was right in so many ways in crypto. He's way ahead of the curve, and he now has launched Pulse Chain against my desires and will. I thought Pulse Chain was a mistake. I didn't sack that heavy for it. And now I see how far ahead of the game Richard Hart really is in creating this stuff. He can basically step away, and this is going to become one of the most successful crypto projects of all time. I'm convinced of it, because all of the risk is gone now, because we have the users and we have the backing. We have effectively billions of dollars behind this stuff at this point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's such a remarkable opportunity where you saw the performance of Hex. We've seen what Richard could build. You have the sticky community that's already in place to be able to go and really take things to another level. And people want to hear about it. Like, in our experience, now sure, there's plenty of people that don't, but there's a lot of freaking people you'd be surprised that want to hear about it. And I think that if you really believe in something, of course you can give qualifiers and and say, hey, like we all do, it's probably not a place to go and bet your life savings. Like, be wise about how you approach this. But gosh, like, getting into something like this early, Rags was pointing out the numbers the other day where a lot of these blockchains, they did hundreds, if not 1,000 plus X's on their first cycle. Not to say that we're necessarily going to do that, but gosh, the upside from here versus the downside is enormous. And I think that we have an obligation, once again, if you believe in these things, to tell them about it now instead of, in 6 months when we're up, who knows.
And I'll back you on that. I think
you have an obligation to open your mouth now.
100%. I think I could stand behind that 100%, that when now everyone doesn't want to talk about it anymore, but this is the time that you should feel comfortable talking about it. Because if you're not at least trying to just not don't be pushy with people and don't force them, and they gauge their level of interest. Maybe it'll come up in conversation casually, and maybe it won't, but like, if you believe in this is the time you tell people about it, and you make up for all the people you got in at the top. I've heard stories of guys that got people in, family and friends in at the top, or just even above 20 cents, and they've came back because they did well, and they've reimbursed them because they felt like they wronged them, and so they reimbursed them on portions of their bag, or they doubled up their bag, or whatever it is. And the more that you get, that's the real network effect. The more that these guys that made it come back and give back to the ecosystem, that's what's going to set the floor. And those are the stories that I'm hearing right now that's going to turn this thing around.
And what's great, Dana, and you pointed this out here in this last meetup that we were at, these guys who are having these real estate events, who have big communities, Dane had pointed out, like, it's their moral obligation to educate and give these guys a framework, at least to point to a framework they can go off of, because they're going to play this game no matter what they want to play. Their community will play this game whether they like it or not. And at least if you give them a good, solid framework on how to do it responsibly and how to get involved in the good protocols that have good product market fit, like Pulse Chain, they're not going to go in there and buy the latest dog coin at the top of the market cycle on Coinbase and hope the number to go up and get wrecked, right? And so it just gives them a better probabilities of being successful, because these guys are going to play when the market sentiment changes. It's just how it goes. And so let's give them a place to come play and actually give them a chance. And whether it does a 20x, we don't know, or it does a 200x. It's remained to be unseen. And but there's a lot of great opportunity in here, and there will be stuff that does a 200x inside Pulse Chain. I mean, I don't know how many X's the Axis coin has done, but it's already done a lot.
Yeah, let's look.
And let's look at this as kind of the last thing. If you guys want to give any parting words or things,
Sure.
Corey, got to jump off here, but let's look at this kind of last thing to wrap it up.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, it's just because they say we have to leave soon. Just it's so many good things being mentioned, and it's built up in me. Let me share it with you. In order to make the pool chain and everything is built around successful, I strongly believe that we need to simplify everything as much as possible, and then we need platforms which is easily reached, and then everything is there. Like you want MetaMask, go to here. Like you want the best educator about liquidity, go to accessalive.com. You want to take some profit and invest some of it I can't speak English, properties, then talk to Corey and Dane. Like it should be like this, in my opinion, because this is how I've been learning English by myself since 2000 and whatever, 4, 5. That if I want to use present simple, I use it in these occasions. I use these words, and that's it. I don't need to know why the English using it like that, and not interested. And people don't like to be told what to do. So I think we should have a platform where we, even on this website, let's say, which I'm trying to mention to you guys, have stories. People love stories, good stories. Axis, would you have ever imagined that when you put that $150 on that account and then invested that crypto, that one day you want to be one of the most successful educator and one of the most green candles provider token creator? I don't think so. At that day you wouldn't have thought that that's going to happen. And same with me. I was just a simple guy in Hungary doing almost nothing. Just trying to go from one week to another. And here we go. I'm talking to you guys. It's just fascinating. I think people need good stories, simplified systems, and then giving directions. Because I've been introduced to crypto by I love Martin. He's a great guy, but he's so weird, and he's got this strong IT mindset. Like the way how he introduced me to crypto, it was just like overwhelming, and it was like, yeah, you do this, you have to do this. Make sure that you don't do this. If you do that, then everything goes. And I'm like, oh my god. And then okay, Coinbase, yeah, there's account number, source code, yeah, money is there. Okay, I can see my tokens. That's it.
Yeah, there's a right way to do that.
Yeah.
That's good feedback, Norbert. Good point.
100%.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up?
What up, Briz?
I've been wanting to jump on your stream for a while, and I just keep always catching the tail ends of it.
You are catching the tail.
Yeah, I just kind of got up. I'm like, hey, look at these guys.
I knew it.
And like, as I'm setting up, you're like, if you guys have any final words, I'm like, join. Just as I'm clicking the join button, it's like, do you guys have any final words? Go, final word. There you go.
There you go. There you go. Go ahead, Axis.
Don't worry, Norbert. My English is terrible too, and I've been speaking it. It's my only language.
Mine too, Reese. I don't speak the greatest English. That's why, like, I take Dane to all the real estate events so he can articulate what I'm trying to get out of my mouth.
Yeah, you guys make a great team.
No, finish
yeah,
this up off here.
Yeah, I know you guys got to get going. So anyway, this is so basically since the $4 level, I would say that's where like more of the volume started to pick up on this one. It's up 287,000%.
Jeez, good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. Briz is gonna dump his Bitcoin bags for some Axis token. Let's do it, Briz.
Maybe it's the next Bitcoin.
Wouldn't that be a trip if Axis got to 100K before Bitcoin?
That'd be good. Well,
You can do it, man. You got the key for the Pandora's box. Not many people can say the same thing. Actually, and the big shout out to you before we go, and Buck and Dylan and Corey and Dane and CryptoSloth. These guys kept me alive and kept believing in crypto. Some of you gave me the tool to play around and build wealth. Some of you just gave me the opportunity to come and learn. Another person just made me laugh and made my day. It's just fantastic. I almost gave up because everyone was coming to me who I introduced to my wife. Oh, we bought a Hex 11 cents. Look at it now. It's not even a cent. I told you to sell it. What is this? Like it's shit. Okay, nice. Then my friend comes to me. Oh, what we gonna do? we thought it's gonna do like 100x. Look at that, it's 50%, 60% down compared to what we invested. I'm like, mate, it's part of the thing, you know. And then it made me believe like maybe I'm doing something wrong, and this is just like a big imaginary Ponzi or whatever. But I'm sure it's gonna come. It's just
Hang in
need
there.
more
The
patience
best is
and
yet to
hang
come.
in there. Yeah.
Everything
yeah.
in life's a Ponzi, Norbert. Even real estate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's all a
Yeah.
Ponzi.
I mean,
Hey, greater
look at
fool.
these buildings. They're selling it for 500,000 pounds. Look, the
Beautiful.
wall is peeling off. The wall is peeling off, and they're selling it for 500,000 pounds. What the fuck, man?
You remember this.
I'm sorry,
Remember
buddy.
this. Nothing will last forever. None of these cryptos are gonna last forever. The dinosaurs didn't last forever. The Roman Empire didn't last forever. The sun will not last forever. Everything is just a matter of how long will this thing survive? You know, how long will the fiat dollar survive?
Yeah.
Typically, most fiat currencies only last about 20 years. You know, the US dollar is on a long stretch of about 110 years right now. So that's way overdue for crashing and going away. But we got people that are excellent at kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, we do.
Agreed.
Which,
Agreed, no.
you know, I mean, at this point, do we really want everything to collapse? You know, so
No.
like,
No.
maybe we
No, we
want them
don't.
to keep kicking it down the road.
Give us another
I don't
go round,
mind
sir.
Can we
a
just kick it a little bit
$25
longer?
cheeseburger if
Just one more
my
cycle, just one
Bitcoin
more
is $1
cycle.
million each.
Seriously. No, excellent points everybody made. We appreciate you guys tuning in to get in today. Thank you for those in the comments. We do this for you guys. We appreciate the community. And with that, we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
See you guys. Thank you.
See ya.
All the best.